Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Big Mike back here once again. I'm sorry for the long layoff. This pandemic has obviously gotten to me a little bit, but here I am, back with you. And I am doing another little predictions video. No wrestling. I promise, not this time. But I will be predicting who I think is going to be on the future MCU teams. Now, I'm not going to be predicting everybody, but I will be doing my best to predict certain teams, including the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy, and the different Avengers team. I'll get to that. Alright, so let's get this started with the Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family. And it's obviously we're going to get Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Luke Cage. No, I'm kidding. Low joke. We are, of course, going to get the classic team: Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm. Although I do hope they throw in Herbie in there. Just as like Reed Richards' assistant. If you don't know who Herbie is, check out my list of characters I want to see in the MCU. I explain it a little more back there. So, classic Fantastic Four team. Eventually, maybe we see the children of the Fantastic Four. Well, I forget the little girl's name, who's named after Doom's mother, I believe. But then there's Nathaniel, who's technically a mutant. I mean, technically they're all mutants, but, whatever. I think eventually we're going to see the kids, maybe the Future Foundation, maybe we'll see Spider-Man join up with them. But yeah, that's my Fantastic Four team. The X-Men, that's going to be a little more difficult to pinpoint because there's just so many good X-Men teams. But here's who I think I'm going to stick with. I think we're going to have two options here. The original team, which is Hank McCoy, the Beast. Not Reese Worthington the third. I think that's Backyard Baseball. Angel, Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Iceman. Although I think like 4 of those original team are going to get captured somehow or stranded. I think they're going to take on Krakoa, who is like a mutant island. Like, look him up. That dude's fascinating, and I think he'd be a good first, maybe not so much villain, but at least foil for the actual team we're going to see, which is, I think Cyclops is going to survive, and he's going to lead the new team. Then we're going to get Colossus, who I love. Storm, who I believe we're going to see first in Black Panther 2. Maybe Nightcrawler? I'm not too sure. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to throw Nightcrawler in there. And to round out the team, I think it's going to be either who's going to be our eyes and ears of the audience. I think it's either going to be Jubilee or Shadowcat. Kitty Pryde. So keep it kind of smallish. I think they're going to expand later on. At guys like Gambit, Psylocke, etc., etc. The X-Men roster is vast. Let's say that. The next team I'm going to be talking about, I'm a little more excited for this one, is the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I think post Guardians 3, the Guardians are going to look a little bit different. So I think Gamora and Star-Lord are going to go their separate ways to rekindle their romance, or at least try. I think we're going to get a spin-off Groot Rocket Disney Plus show where they're going to be joined with Rocket's other associate, who I am blanking on the name of. I am very sorry. So the main team, I believe, will consist of Drax the Destroyer, Nebula, Mantis, Adam Warlock eventually. I think he's going to be the main villain of the next movie. Um, Sorry, no Thor, but I think that takes place after Thor's membership, so I don't think he's going to be there. New character Moondragon. No spoilers about her. She's going to be important to this next movie. And I believe we are also going to have. Would be a nice new team member. I think actually that's it. I think that's going to be it. So, like, Nebula, Drax, Moondragon, Warlock. Oh, Mantis, of course. Can't forget about Mantis. And I think that might be it. They may add someone else. Maybe like a Beta Ray Bill or something. Actually, no. I'm going to save Beta Ray Bill for something else. Now, here's what I'm going to next talk about, and that's the Avengers teams. Now, I believe there is going to be more than one Avengers team. And I know that's a little hard to believe, but I think that's going to be for the best. Kind of break up the storylines a little bit. So I think first team we're going to get is a, kind of Teen Titans, kind of Harry Potter-ish school for, future generations. Kind of like the Xavier School, except for other heroes. So here's what I think we're going to get in there. I think we're going to get Iron Lad, who, that's a complicated story. We're definitely getting Wittiken and Speed, who are technically the sons of Wanda and Vision. Don't think about that too much. I do believe we're getting Hulking, who is a Kree Skrull hybrid, and that's actually pretty cool. I think he's actually kind of the king of both right now in the comics. I could be wrong. And then I think we're going to get America Chavez, who's an interesting little character. And then the two I know we're getting is Kate Bishop, a female version of Hawkeye, who I'm definitely down with that, and Stature, Cassie Lang, Scott Lang's daughter, who takes the growth formula and gets really big. And I'm down with that. Also kind of assholes. Also, I believe we're going to have teachers on this thing. I think this is going to be a Disney Plus show. And we're going to get, like, the Hulk, who is... I guess he's more going to be into more teaching. I think we're going to see Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne in there. Maybe get Vision in there. Etc., etc. I think it could be a good new generation taking the place of the old generation. I think that'd be a cool way to do that. Next up, main Avengers team on the East Coast. I'll get into that. I do believe we are going to have, an East Coast, West Coast team. Maybe they share members. We'll see. First on the East Coast team, I think it's Spider-Man. I think he's going to be the lead guy in this. Because, last Spider-Man movie, they built him up as so. Another member, Doctor Strange. I think I think he's going to be a toned down member, at least. Maybe a reserve member. But I think he's still going to be on the team. I think we're going to have T'Challa, Black Panther. I think he's going to be a part of that. I think he's also going to be a part of the West Coast branch as well. Falcon's version of Captain America. And don't worry, he's not just going to show up. Uh, I think we're going to see that journey in the Falcon and Winter Soldier Disney Plus series, which I am very excited about. I think we're going to keep Bucky off the team for now. Maybe something happens to him. I don't know. Maybe he's on the other team. We'll see. Um, for now, I'm not going to put Wanda and Vision on the team because I'm not too sure what's going to happen to them. And then I think the last spot would have gone to War Machine, but I think Don Cheadle's kind of done with the whole Marvel movies. So I think I am going to. You know what? I'm going to put female Thor on this team because I think Thor Love and Thunder, we're going to see Odinson, the original Thor, sacrifice himself. And then we are going to get female Thor, Jane Foster's Thor, excuse me, filling that role. I do also think we're going to get the She-Hulk. Actually, you know what? Scrap the She-Hulk for now. I don't think she's going to be on this particular team. But I still think that's a good, solid crew. Now we move over West Coast Avengers. Now, that's an interesting team. They're going to be out of San Fran, I believe, which already has two pretty significant members, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne. And that's a really good team. I think they're going to be solid together. I do also believe Black Panther is going to share his time between the East and West Coasts. Kind of a leader type. I also think, depending on what goes on in WandaVision, I think both Scarlet Witch and Vision are going to be on this team. Last member, I think, is going to be more of an associate. I think the original Hawkeye, Clint Barton's going to be there as more of an advisor type. Also, I'd say kind of waiting in the wings for either team. I think Rescue, Pepper Potts, in her Iron Man suit we saw in Endgame. So yeah, I think that's a pretty solid crew as well. We're gonna have She-Hulk in there, I believe, and that's gonna be an interesting character. Who I can't believe we're getting on Disney Plus. That's gonna be such a fun series. Now this last one, I think is going to be a little interesting, maybe a little controversial. I do believe we are going to get a Cosmic Avengers team, as teased at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. We see Nick Fury in a space station with the Skrulls. So I believe he's going to be putting a team together. Although I don't think they're going to call themselves the Cosmic Avengers. I think they're just going to be like the Ultimates or something. And that's why I left out Carol. She's going to lead this team, Captain Marvel. We're also going to see Nova, who I believe is going to debut in either Captain Marvel or the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Adam Warlock, who I believe we're going to see the Guardians again travel to Earth, and then we're going to get that sort of. I think we're going to see Nick Fury recruiting Adam. Other cosmic entities, we could see maybe the Super Skrull eventually. I'd like to see him. He's a Skrull who has all of the powers of the Fantastic Four. Although there are other Super Skrulls with other powers of heroes. So I think we're going to see the main one, which would be cool. And then I believe we shall get the Silver Surfer eventually. Like, although I don't think Galactus is going to be the next, like, Thanos. I think we're going to see him in, like, the first Fantastic Four movie because he needs help, like, really, really badly. And then him, we'll see the Silver Surfer rebel against his old master and then join this team, the Ultimates, which I'm all for. Um, Also on the Guardians team, I put Cosmo the space dog, who I believe we saw in the first Guardians movie, maybe not so much the second one, I'm not sure. Oh, and another one I forgot about for the Cosmic Avengers, the Ultimates, I'm going to keep calling them. Beta Ray Bill. I think we're going to eventually see him. I think he's going to take over Stormbreaker after, Odin's son sacrifices himself. And I believe he will travel to Earth and with Jane Foster, or at least an alternate version of Jane Foster. And they're going to join their respective teams. All right, that's a short one for me. I think that'll do it. If you want to see me predict more MCU teams in the future, or maybe some storylines, let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I shall see you guys next time. Peace.